Rüdiger Graf von der Goltz was born on the 8th of December 1865 in Johann into one of the oldest Prussian noblest families. He entered the War College in Berlin in 1881 and was assigned to the Great General Staff in 1895. In 1911, he was appointed Section Chief in the Great General Staff and Director of Staff of the War College of Berlin. At the beginning of the First World War, he led the 76th Infantry Regiment at the First Battle of the Marne in September 1914, and the 5th Guard Brigade in the Battle of the Masurian Lakes in February 1915, among other things. But he was most famous for being the Baltic warlord. In February to March 1918, von der Goltz assumed the command of the Baltic Sea Division. It consisted of 11,000 troops who were mostly drawn from reservist divisions, White Guards, Baltic Germans, and anti-white communist forces and light infantry battalions, together with Carl Gustav Emil Mannerheim, sounds familiar, who served as Commander-in-Chief of the nascent Finnish army after the Finnish Parliament's declaration of independence in December 1917. Von der Goltz and his buddy Emil Mannerheim led the Baltic Sea Division against the revolutionary Red Guards in the Finnish Civil War. The Civil War foreshadowed the brutality of conflicts that followed the First World War, and was the first war that saw both sides commit atrocities, but including multiple executions of ideological prisoners. The Baltic Sea Division landed at Hanko, Finland, between the 3rd of April to the 5th of April 1918, and then they marched to the socialist-controlled capital of Helsinki, which surrendered after the Battle of Helsinki on the 13th of April 1918. The German military intervention aided the nationalist government of Finland to gain control over most of the country by May 1918. Von der Goltz stayed with his troops in Finland after the Civil War until December 1918 and was a major political influence in the country. He was described by the Quartermaster General of the White Army, Hannes Ignustis, as being the true regent of Finland. In the summer of 1918, von der Goltz wanted to replace the Finnish White Forces with a new Finnish conscription army, where the leadership positions were staffed by German officers and conscriptees would be trained according to German Prussian army standards. Of course, Finnish generals like Ignustes, von Grinch, and Tislov resigned from the Finnish military in protest. The Germans wanted to use the Finnish forces and the Finnish border against the Allied units intervening in Marmas and Archangel. After the 11th of November 1918 and the armistice of 11-11-11, von der Goltz and his division left Helsinki on the 16th of December 1918. The Inter-Allied Commission of Control, however, insisted that the German troops remain in the Baltic states to prevent the region from being reoccupied by the Red Army or the new USSR government. As many of the demoralized German soldiers were being withdrawn from Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania, a Freikorps unit called the Iron Division or the Unch Division were formed and deployed mostly in Riga for now and used to delay the Red advance into the Baltics. New volunteers arriving from Germany and rearmament of the German 8th Army was subsequently added to the Iron Division, which was assigned under command of von der Goltz, our guy. Also some Baltic Germans and some Latvians, but not the Latvian Rifles or the Starinikis. Maybe a little bit of Starinikis, but they formed the Baltic Landwehr, or the Baltic Land Forces, led by Major Alfred Fletcher. In late February 1919, the Germans' backs were against the wall. Only the seaport of Lajapaja remained in the hands of the German and Latvian forces. However, in March 1918, General von der Goltz was able to win a series of victories over the Red Army. Firstly occupying Ventspils and then the major port of Kurland, and then advancing south and to the east to retake Riga. After the Bolsheviks had been driven out of most of Latvia, the Allies ordered the German government to withdraw its troops from the Baltic region. However, the Germans, being smart and crafty and wanting influence in the region of the Baltics, succeeded in negotiating a postponement, arguing that this would give the Bolsheviks a free hand to retake Finland and Latvia and Lithuania and Estonia yet again, which was kind of true. General von der Goltz then attempted to seize control of Latvia with the assistance of the local German population and pro-German forces. The Latvian nationalist government was deposed while the Freikorps and Latvian and White Russian units moved to capture Riga on the 23rd of May 1919. The Latvian nationalists then sought assistance from the Estonian army, which had been occupying northern Latvia since earlier that year. Not a joke. So now in June 1919, General von der Goltz ordered his troops not to advance east against the Red Army, as the Allies had been expecting, but north against the Estonians. On the 19th of June, the Iron Division and the Landswehr units launched an attack to capture the areas around souces, but the battles over the following few days would be the end of von der Goltz. They were defeated by the Estonian 3rd Division led by Ernst Pauder as they were pounded into submission. On the morning of the 23rd of June, the Germans began a general retreat towards Riga. The Allies again insisted that the Germans withdraw their remaining troops from Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia now, and intervened to impose a ceasefire between the Estonians and the Freikorps when the Estonians were just about to march into Riga. The British insisted that General von der Goltz leave Latvia at once, and he turned his troops over to the west, even the Russian Volunteer Army, and went back to Germany. In April to May 1919, Rüdiger von der Goltz supported a coup which removed the government of Karlis Ulmanis, who wanted to obtain greater Latvian sovereignty and independence. The plotters worked against Ulmanis in favor of securing closer collaboration with Germany instead, but remained without popular support from the local Latvian population. On several occasions, Rüdiger von der Goltz ignored the orders of the German government in Berlin and pursued his own policies as a warlord instead. Following lame Allied protests, von der Goltz's German forces were able to remain in the region until the summer of 1919, when the Allies, who were afraid of strong German influence in the Baltic states, finally decided to force the German government in Berlin to bring them back to Germany. The Allies accused von der Goltz, among other things, of allowing soldiers under his command to commit atrocities against Latvian civilians. Goltz's defeat in the Battle of Wenden made it possible for the Entente's claims to materialize in the Leipzig war crime trials, the precursor to Nuremberg. Rüdiger von der Goltz later claimed in his memoirs that his major strategic goal in 1919 had been to launch a campaign of cooperation with the White Russian forces to overturn the Bolshevik regime by marching on St. Petersburg and installing a pro-German anti-Bolshevik government in Russia. But it became Leningrad, and after that, well, it's history. We're not finished with von der Goltz yet. After the Finnish Civil War came to an end in mid-May 1918, secret negotiations between the Finnish and German governments led to a closer economic and diplomatic relationship between the two countries. Von der Goltz coordinated military cooperation with Germany as the German general in Finland until December 1918, and that's where you get the Lapland Wars and the Continuation War and the Winter War. Rüdiger von der Goltz became one of the leading opponents of the Weimar Republic on the nationalist right. During the Kapp Push in March 1920, he served as commander in Berlin and was considered by Wolfgang Kapp, behind the Kapp Push, for a future military leadership position in the troop office or the Truppennappe. Between 1924 and 1930, Rüdiger von der Goltz chaired the paramilitary Young German League, or Junges Deutsches Landbund. He served as the chairman of the United Patriotic Association of Germany, or the Vereinigte Vaterlandsches Verband Deutschlands, or the VVVD, from 1924 until his dissolution in 1933 and 1934. But all parties were legal except for the Nationalist Socialist Party, so good run. The VVVD served as a loose confederation of various right-wing paramilitary organizations, or Freikorps. He represented the VVVD at the Habsburg Rally in October 1931. The rally united a range of right-wing organizations against the Weimar Republic. This included the German National People's Party, or the Deutsches Nationales Volkspartei, the Nationalist Socialist German Workers' Party, or the Nazi Party, and the Stielhelmets, or the Stahlhelm, and the Pan-German League, or the Aldeutscher Verband. After the dissolution of the VVVD, Rüdiger von der Goltz became a chairman of the Reichsassociation of German Officers, or the Reichsverband Deutsches Offizier, in 1934. One of the Third Reich's veterans organizations that became increasingly coordinated was the Glenn-Society by the Nazi regime's foundation of the Reich Soldiers League, or the Reichskriegsbund, in 1938. Although Rüdiger von der Goltz was promoted to a brevet rank of Lieutenant General, or Lieutenant General, in 1939, he was increasingly sidelined by the Nazi regime, as even though he was a far-right extremist, not that far-right, but a nationalist far-right man, he didn't really agree with the Nazi ideology, and everyone kind of hated the Weimar Republic after inflation, sex, drugs, the demoralization of Germans half the land is gone. The Treaty of Versailles signing. So, who really liked the Weimar Republic? Even Otto Dix and anti-war nationalist socialists hated the Weimar Republic. Even the communists hated the Weimar Republic, for obvious reasons. But still, it was probably the worst state in Germany after the Third Reich. So, sorry. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. That is the man, the myth, the legend. He saw Prussia. He saw the Imperial German Army, the Weimar Republic, the Third Reich, and just before he died, West Germany was formed. So he saw 4 eras of Germany and 5 German states before his death in 1946. You can call him far right, you can call him a Nazi, but of course he is an anti-communist, a man who saved Latvia, Estonia and Lithuania before 1941, and he is the warlord, the regent of Finland. He is the man, the myth, the warlord, Rüdiger von der Goltz. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Rüdiger von der Goltz, a very underrated person in Western and even slightly Eastern society, Eastern cultures, because when the communists came to power, there were certain people that would kind of destroy the whole communist togetherness, like the Bulgarian that really captured Dobrogia. And when the Bolsheviks and the Bulgarian socialists came together, they were like, that guy fighting against the Russians in World War One, though. I'm not liking that. And then the Finnish. Yeah, the Lapland Wars, good. Continuation War, bad. And of course, you can't forget about the Baltic states. And the Salonikis, good. The Estonian Red Army, good. The Lithuanian Commonwealth, bad. Yeah, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth will rise again. Wait and see. The eagle with blue, green and red. Wait again. The Polish Commonwealth will be great again. Yeah. Anyway, guys, on a serious note, this is it. Rüdiger von der Goltz. We're back at it again. We're gonna find a job. We're gonna make money. And of course, we are going to be the VVVD, or the Vintage Vaderland Rheinisch Verband Deutsches Land, or the United People of the Association of Mother Emo Syndicate, or we can make it the Vintage Emo Syndicate Vaderlandisch Verband Emo Syndicate Landisch. No wait, that makes no sense. The Vintage Vaderlandisch Verband Emo Syndicate Landisch. There we go. The United Patriotic Association of Emo Syndicate Land. Pretty cool, huh? Yep. If I do say so myself. But we're back, guys. We might do the Machine Gewehr M15NA. I don't think the first part of this video is good. The introduction of Rüdiger von der Goltz. I will listen to it now before I get out of the bedroom. I have to go and take a shit. But everything into 1918 and the Baltics, perfect, just delicious. But you know what? Let's have a meme. You know what? I haven't sung for you guys in a long time, so I guess it's time for a meme, boys. Get the accordion. I will edit an accordion about right here. There we go. Finlandia, Finlandia, Sintasa molakala ola aivala, Kula tobe lupas, Kora Kora Harashi, Komanera Georgia and Sudan Mazari, Nyat Molotov, Vala Hane Iman Konen Ise Bondakov, Nyat Molotov, Vala Hane Iman Konen Ise Bondakov. Finlandia, Manaheimen Luja Ola Vula Sankara, Konan Ada Kaja, Ona Romantola Tu, Lupan Lama Ovana Pola Pompatus, Nyat Molotov, Vala Haiten Iman Konen Isem Bondakov, Nyat Molotov, Vala Haiten Little Iman Une Bondakov. Finlandia, Finlandia. Si pakal bota mana pumpa pambara. Mala tobelupa ina eto konda prashi. Kuna anakuda elekida krabashki. Net molotov. Vela heine iman konen isen bondakov. Net molotov. Vala heine little iman konen is bondakov. Uraleta. Vale apan toffing krampa mama. Senior Japatieta, the Moken has jarits. Zole kone du mazare on the ponjarits. Net molotov. Vala heinen iman konen isen bondakov. Net molotov. Vala heinen iman konen isen bondakov. Net molotov. Vala heinen iman konen isen bondakov. Net molotov. Vala heinen konen isen bondakov. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I did mess up a couple of words, but it was pretty damn good. No, hold on. Sorry. Hold on. We have the best thing that Latvia has to offer. Better than the Finland's Niet Molotov. I just remember this from the top of my mind, trying to look for a Latvian folk song to sing, because this video was put in Latvia. Thank you, Latvia, for this gem. Lord help me. Bush near my group. I bet you young cats don't know about this disco that the 70s people used to listen to. The USSR is a little funky. Gulags and a good time. Gulags or a good time. Who knows? I'd rather have a good time in a gulag than a Stalin gulag. It's your DJ, Latvian USSR. Boop, nena, goop. Yeah. This is my song, baby. Boos, nena, goop. Boos, nena, goops. It's very not good because it's mostly instrumental. Boos, nena, goop. A lot of dead air now. Yes, I lit ya. Oh, yeah. Boos, nena, goop. I'll let you listen to the song in its full entirety. I'm sorry. This video is going to be like over 10 minutes long anyway, so hope you enjoyed. Latvian disco, my dudes. Anyway, learn something. I'm going to listen to this while I take a shit, so enjoy yourself. Los.